This is a super unique school business. So this dude would make end-of-the-year videos, like a video yearbook. And at first, it looked like any end-of-the-year video. Music, selfies, people walking to class, doing finger hearts. But then it would cut to black and the title would pop up. The real yearbook. You see, it turns out this one student had been filming everything all year. Not the school spirit stuff, not the assemblies, not the sports teams. He filmed all the chaos and the shenanigans. The 5-person fight in Spanish class. The time one Hawaiian roll started the biggest food fight in that school's history. Even the teacher's meltdown during second period.
You guys are the worst class I've ever had. Screw you.
And the edit of the results would be insane. Perfect cuts, super good sound design, transitions, and at the end of the year, he would tell people to report to room 108, which is one of the club rooms. It was after school, and he told people it was $2 to get in. Most people had no clue what this was about, but they paid anyway, and by 3:15, the entire room was packed with people. The lights go off, it's silent. He presses play and the projector goes. The video starts and it's epic. People are laughing, they're cheering, they're losing their minds. It was all the crazy stuff that happened that year in one perfectly edited video. When it was over, somebody said,
"Yo, bro, that was awesome. Run it back."
But he didn't. Instead, he pulled out this Tupperware container that was filled with flash drives. Each flash drive had the file of that video on it. And he sold them for $10 each. Guess what? They sold out and he made absolute bank. He did this exact same thing for a few years after this. And then he stopped. But seriously, what a genius idea. You gotta respect this kid's hustle. They plotted this for weeks. For about 2 weeks, this small group of students would take the lunchroom food and shove it in their backpacks to save for later. You know, mashed potatoes, hot dogs, milk cartons, pizza, chicken tenders, you know. They would bring it home and put it in the fridge. They're stockpiling cafeteria food. Then, one night, they broke into the school. They snuck into the principal's office. And one by one, they swapped everything out on her desk. But they were swapping her stuff out with the cafeteria food that they had been saving. They took her stapler and replaced it with a scoop of mashed potatoes. Her landline phone they replaced with 5 hot dogs. They filled her coffee mug with shredded chicken, and they replaced all of her pens with straws. All the leftover food they put on her desk chair. The next morning, the principal stared at this all in disbelief. What in God's name happened in here? And it was as easy as checking the security cameras. Those kids were caught almost immediately, but still, that's actually kind of hilarious. There was this kid in 8th grade, and to be clear, nobody liked him. Why? Well, because he was frickin' mean. He would steal people's food and say, "Mine, survival of the fittest." He barked at the PE teacher once. Ruff. And he had this really insane talent of making other people cry. Kid was a certified menace. One day during lunch, he picks up one of those tiny square milk cartons, and he sees someone across the way and says this, "Hey nerd, catch this." He winds up, he launches the milk carton, and he misses. The milk carton missed the kid he was trying to throw it at, but it hit the security guard in the chest. Oh, you, come here. Now. And let me say this, the security guard was a huge, buff dude. People respected him because they were terrified of him. No. I'm so sorry. Well, this 8th grader is now starting to panic because he's terrified. I said, "Come here now." He starts walking over there, slowly, in shame and terror. And just like that, every single student in the cafeteria begins cheering. Justice. Justice is served. Who's the nerd now? Loser. Everyone was just so happy that this kid, who seemed to never get in trouble but was always so horrible to other people, was finally getting the karma he deserved. So every day, during class, she made her students sit in a circle, and they had to confess something they felt guilty about. It was called the guilt circle. She said it helped build trust, but it felt more like public humiliation. Every morning, right after the bell rang, one by one, share something you regret, something you're hiding, a dark secret. And if you really couldn't think of anything, she would say, "That's fine, but you're going twice tomorrow." It would be stuff like, "I ate my sister's Halloween candy. I cheated on a vocab quiz. But after a while, that wasn't good enough for her. She wanted them to go deeper. I spread a horrible rumor about my friend. I took money from my mom's purse, and she loved it. Oh, why do you think you did that? Do you think she knows? Day after day, week after week, this is how things went down. Until one day a kid stood up and said, "You know what, Mrs. Keller? You should feel guilty. You make us say this stuff in front of you and all of our classmates, and then I bet you go laugh about it in the teacher's lounge." The whole room froze. She didn't say anything. And I guess that was all it took, because the next day, the guilt circle stopped. For real though, that is super messed up and completely unacceptable. This kid considered himself a genius. A genius, he knew everything about smartphones and how to fix them. So he decided he was going to start a business. He told people that he was running a phone repair service, and he got his first 2 customers. And done. Here's yours, and here's yours. It was easy money, and word spread really fast. Suddenly he had classmates, kids in other grades, and even people from outside of school hitting him up. And then teachers started asking him, "Hey, I heard you run a little service, so my screen's cracked. Can you fix it for me?" Absolutely. Now, prices vary depending on the severity of the damage, but he would charge $30 to fix an older phone. If it was a newer phone, it'd be around $80. And if he had to fix a camera lens or something like that, more serious, it could be up to $200. And he was smart. He didn't stop at just the repairs. He started supplying and selling phone cases as well. I got cheap cases for $10, I have wallet cases for $20, and I have designer cases for $50. Which one is it? And he would of course sell screen protectors. $5 flat, sometimes $12 if you wanted a really good one. He ran this service throughout high school, and over the years he serviced so many phones and he pocketed thousands of dollars. And honestly, that's genius. You gotta respect the hustle. At this one school, phones were banned in every classroom. Strictest policy anybody's ever seen. No loopholes. If you get caught, your phone is being taken. So one kid, he builds a business.
I'm gonna build a business.
He buys a bunch of nice binders, ones with compartments, folders, sleeves, and he customizes every single one. These binders would have sections. Section 1, crossword puzzles. Section 2, original comic strips drawn by kids in the art program that he paid. Section 3, an area for doodles. Each binder also came with a bonus packet. Fun gel pens, highlighters, sometimes a fidget toy. And he calls these boredom binders. At first, people told him this was a goofy, dumb idea. But then one kid bought one and absolutely loved it.
Yo, it's actually lit. There's riddles, comics in there. I found this awesome pen.
I'm gonna have to get one.
By the end of that week, everybody wants one, and business is absolutely booming. And here's the awesome part. He didn't just sell the binders. He offered weekly refills for a small price. He would load in new crosswords, new comics, new riddles.
Enjoy. And hey, for $2, give me the binder back and I'll refill it with new stuff.
He made over $300 in the first 2 weeks. And the cool part is, teachers didn't even shut it down. They liked it because it actually kept kids quiet, focused, and somehow it made them perform better on tests. And it was the only school business that nobody complained. And honestly, you gotta respect the hustle. It's the end of the semester. Grades are locked except for one final group project. Well, this kid named Brian is already failing the class. Even if he gets an A on this project, he's still done. Nothing matters. Well, his teammates on this group project, he overhears them talking. "If I get a B on this project, I pass the class." "Same, I can't fail this." The night before the presentation, Ryan's in his room and he's on his laptop. He goes to the Google Docs and the Google presentation and he deletes everything. The next morning in class, it's a nightmare. "Okay, Kayla, Kyle, and Ryan's group, you're next." I don't know what happened. It's not here anymore? Wait, let me see. It's all blank? What happened? Oh, that's so weird. Well, did you have backups? No, you know how strict I was about this. You all get a 0. My mom's gonna kill me. The group mates and a teacher later found out what happened, and Ryan was suspended and he failed. And the other 2 were able to redo the project and pass. So there's that. The legend of this school wasn't a student. It was the gym teacher, Mr. Lev. One day during morning drop-off, he's out by the curb, helping kids get into the school while a bus pulls in too sharp and hits him. Full body contact. "All right, guys, head on in there, head on in there. Bell's about to ring." Oh no. He goes flying. Like, it looked pretty bad. Everyone in the bus is screaming, "Oh my God, you killed him!" Oh God. But what does Mr. Lev do? He stands up, walks onto the bus and goes, "Is everybody okay in here?" Yeah. Are you? "Oh, I'm fine. You guys should get inside. The bell's about to ring." And then just walks it off like nothing happened. From that day forward, he was untouchable. Like school-wide Chuck Norris energy. Now, a few years after graduation, there was this crazy rumor that Mr. Lev got fired for soaking raisins in vodka and drinking them throughout the day, which people are pretty sure that wasn't true, but still, he was fired. Well, years later, somebody saw his obituary. He had passed away. But people who knew him said that Mr. Lev was loved. He was like the Terminator. The only teacher to get hit by a bus and finish his shift. Rest in peace, Mr. Lev. Rest in peace.